Welcome back to the 0 to 100 podcast. We are here on location. It's been a while since we've done this. It's been like 2 months. I think the last episode we did was in May. But we're back, episode 10, quarantining, season 2. We got video now. We're going to be on YouTube, so if you're tuning in from YouTube, thank you. And we're also on all other platforms, Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, and now we just partnered with The Morning Read. So if you read The Morning Read and you get their newsletter, we'll be on there as well. Subscribe to The Morning Read, and you'll get some great stories. It's good sports content, golf content, lifestyle content. Be sure to check it out. So let's get going. Jersey number 10, we got some good ones to talk about. Where should we start? Matt, let's start with you. Let's start with Fran Tarkenton.
Should we do introductions? People don't know us, you know.
Oh, true. We could do introductions.
So
let's do you. You and the glasses.
Who is that over there?
The producer.
True.
On the ones and twos. Over here. Good to see everyone. Soccer expert, as you can tell. Oh, by my shirt. Go Richmond. I'm excited, to be honest, to be back.
What have you been up to since May?
A lot of quarantining. So not great quarantining, admittedly. I could be doing better. But what I've been up to, working, job. I've been cooking a little more, trying to exercise. Not well, but, and just waiting for sports to be back. And they're back. Some are back. Not all. RIP college football, which
yes.
I'm sure we'll get to.
Not yet. There's still a chance.
There is a chance, yeah. SEC football will probably not cancel.
NAC. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's just Trevor Lawrence is going to play, and just him. But it's been good. I'm excited to be back, and excited for the fans to put a face to the pod.
Yeah, we love that. We really do.
Yeah.
And the Rock in the corner here. Tell them who you are.
Yeah, I'm the Rock, or Matt, for short.
Okay.
For sure.
Yeah, that's about it. Like,
what are you
sports,
expertise in?
Sports, pods,
Rocks.
rocks.
What's
You
your
know,
favorite
pretty much
kind of
anything. Rock. Ooh. That's a good question.
Sedimentary. Igneous,
No, I like
metamorphic?
the igneous
Wow, that's
ones.
big.
For those who may be
Igneous, 'cause
for those
they're
who may
like-
be tuning into the pod for the first time, why do we call you the Rock?
It was my nickname for baseball. Basically, I was like a rock out there. The ball couldn't get by me. It was like I would just stop everything, gobble everything up, throw it over to first or wherever it needed to be thrown. Basically,
rocks gobbling all the time.
dude, they're gobbling. It's more like a boulder, but that just
True.
covered the whole infield.
True, very true. And we got Carl over here in the corner as well.
And I've been doing well this quarantine, by the way.
Thank you.
Your time's up, man.
Okay,
Your time's up.
Can we cut that?
I
can cut
thought I
that.
could get my little.
Yours. It's Carl's turn.
Oh, sorry. Go, Carl.
What's going on, everyone? Carl in the house.
In
I
the
made
house.
a few sneaky appearances on, I guess, season 1.
Season
How are we
one,
calling it?
that's right.
Season 1.
Yeah.
I wasn't really a staple, but I'm hoping to, get into that jar of staples this
We're a
season.
team now. We're a team of 4 now. We're a full table for this podcast.
We're a squad.
We're a squad. We are a squad. And I'm Nate. I am your lead host that will be bringing you through this thing. So let's get going. I think we should start off with Fran Tarkenton.
Fran Tarkenton.
Fran Tarkenton.
Yes, it's okay. So Fran Tarkenton, he was an NFL quarterback. He played primarily with the Vikings, but he also, in the middle of his career, he played with the Giants. Let me just run the quick rundown of him. 9-time Pro Bowler, first team All-Pro in 1975, NFL MVP in 1975, and NFL Offensive Player of the Year in 1975. So you could say 1975 was a good year for him. Furthermore, he played in 3 Super Bowls, but unfortunately he lost them all.
All of them.
Yes, all of them. And, he's not taking it too well to this day. He says, "It kills me. I think about it every day. It's a chip on my shoulder. I hate it. I hate it for my fans. I hate it for my family. I hate it for my teammates. Most of all. So he's not.
That's deep.
And that's a recent quote, I think. But who knows? So and then he lost in those Super Bowls. He lost to the Dolphins, Steelers, and I think it was the Raiders or something. He got killed in his last Super Bowl. Doesn't really matter.
And have you ever known someone named Fran?
Fran? Yeah, I used to work with a guy named Fran. He was a great guy, great dude, smart guy, great fellow. And
Shouts to Fran if you're listening.
I miss him. Shout out Fran if you ever listen. Miss you, Fran.
Fran Drescher? That's a famous Fran. I don't know.
You think he'll give us a follow?
No, Fran. I don't know if he has Instagram or anything, but he's whatever. Anyway,
Sorry to interrupt.
it's okay. He's a good guy. Moving forward, so he played 18. Fran Tarkenton played 18 NFL seasons. He completed about 3,700 passes for 47,000 yards and 342 touchdowns. And when he retired, these were all NFL records at the time. So he was one of the best, at least in his era, and of all time. Right now, his career passing yards ranked 12th all time, and his passing touchdowns 10th. He's a Hall of Famer, and probably one of the most famous things he was known for, I guess, was his ability to scramble and get outside the pocket. He was very elusive. He was pretty fast and just kind of exciting. And it kind of made him a great rusher as well. So he rushed for 3,674 yards and 32 touchdowns.
Sheesh.
Which is 6 all-time right now behind some big names: Michael Vick, Randall Cunningham, Cam Newton, Steve Young, and Russell Wilson. Quote on that: I scramble because I'm good at it, because I can twist and dodge those big pass rushers better than most guys, and we get a lot of touchdowns that way. So good for you, Fran.
He's a good quote.
Wow.
He is. So that pretty much wraps it up for his NFL career, post-career, and a little bit during his career. He co-authored and authored a couple books. And post-career, he was a pioneer in freaking computer software. Who would have thought? And he ended up selling his company. I think I saw he sold it for about $74 million. So he made a good amount of bank that way. And
Take the chip off his shoulder.
yeah, and ultimately he's one of the richest former and current NFL players in the world today.
Interesting.
Yeah, and that's about it for Fran.
Wow, that's a good one to start off with for the best player to
Great
wear
number
number 10. Let's see if we could follow up with Chipper Jones. What's his first off, Carl? What is Chipper Jones' full name?
Chipper Jones, otherwise known as Larry Wayne Jones Jr. That's a mouthful.
Let's stick to Chipper.
Anyways, Larry Wayne Jones Jr.
I wonder he went by Chipper.
Yeah. Well, the reason why actually is because his family members, they thought he was like kind of a chip off the old block, you know, an old soul, which we love here. Not gonna lie. But I mean, he's just got an under the radar impressive resume. Hall of Famer, MVP, 8-time All-Star, #1 draft pick by the Braves, won a World Series with them. Spent his whole 19-year career with the Braves. Great loyalty. I love that in a baseball player. All my favorite baseball players, one team. It's how it's meant to be.
Day ones, I love that.
So some of the nitty-gritty stats here. His prime year, so from 1996 to 2003, this is what I would call prime Chipper. His average season, 313 average, 157 games played, 181 hits, 110 runs, 32 home runs, 107 RBIs, and 14 steals. And to me, you know, kind of the stat that pops out is the 157 games on average, because I always have kind of thought of Chipper as like injury prone,
Yeah.
to be honest. And that just kind of disproves that theory right off the bat. So that's what we got there. But other noteworthy numbers for him: 468 career home runs, which just I was reading through all his stats and I was just like, is he the best switch hitter of all time? I mean, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but
it's either him or
Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle, I'd say.
I mean, Beltran.
You said Beltran too.
Is the other guy that pops out, but I don't know, Chipper.
Chipper.
Yeah.
I'd say
Solid.
it's Chipper.
We like Chipper more than Fran for best to wear number 10. I think I like Chipper.
I like-
honestly a close one, but yeah.
I
probably
like Chipper's stats. Fran seems like a cooler guy, personally.
Fran does seem like a-
Cool, but
I'd like to have a beer with Fran.
Oh, me too.
I only know Fran because of this podcast. I can't say I've heard of him.
No, that's what I was saying too. I didn't really
If you
know
were
him.
really famous, I feel like.
I mean, it's just kind of yeah. What? Yeah.
True.
Because I didn't know he wasn't.
So I guess slight edge to Chipper.
Slight edge to Chipper. All right, well, moving on, we'll take a look at the hoops world. Got Walt Frazier, a.k.a. Clyde, a.k.a. Mr. Cool. He actually wrote a book called Rockin' Steady, A Guide to Basketball and Cool. I mean, he was just always known as being the cool guy because he was so stylish. And he's still stylish to this day. He broadcasts, he's a color commentator for the Knicks.
Go Knicks.
Go Knicks, of course. And
They're doing well in the bubble too, undefeated.
undefeated, that's right. And but everyone knows him for the outrageous suits that he wears on TV. So known for his style. Hall of Famer, 7-time NBA All-Star, led the Knicks to the 70 and the 73 NBA championships. What's interesting about the 1970 championship is that so he averaged 17.6 points per game, 10.4 assists per game, 7.7 rebounds per game in that final series. In Game 7, which is known as the Willis Reed game because Willis Reed, he was MVP for the All-Star game that year. He was mainly known as the leader for the Knicks. He had an injury, but he still played and they still won. So everyone knows it as the Willis Reed game. But people forget how good Walt Frazier played on that Game 7. 36 points, 12 for 17 from the field, 19 assists, and 7 rebounds. He clearly he took away the stat line. I mean, he led in all stats, and but yet the game is still known as the Willis Reed game. Walt did make an all-defensive team. He finished his career with 18.9 points per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, and a 6.1 assists per game. He led the Knicks in scoring 5 seasons. Like I mentioned before, he's color commentator for MSG Network. His favorite musician, Marvin Gaye. He always refers to Wilt Chamberlain as the only Superman to ever play basketball. Just probably because he was just bigger than life. You know, he was huge. He dominated the game back then. That's also people remember the game for Willis Reed because he covered Wilt Chamberlain. He stopped Wilt Chamberlain. So
he stopped Superman.
He stopped Superman.
Kryptonite
So
right there.
there you go.
Jeez.
If he said that if he never became a basketball player, he'd become a physical education teacher. That was his.
Really?
That was his
Phys ed.
That was what he wanted to do if he didn't become an NBA player. So his favorite meal is salmon and broccoli.
Ooh, be better.
I love salmon.
I agree. You could be better. I mean, like it's
That's
just
a
not.
good meal.
It's healthy.
That's not your favorite meal.
Right. It's a good meal, but
yeah,
not your
be better
favorite
than
meal.
that.
Favorite movie is Gone with the Wind.
I don't know if I've seen it.
I feel like that's a famous
On his on the color commentary that he does for the Knicks, he's known for his Clydisms. You guys may have heard of some of these, but posting and toasting, dishing and swishing. He says these often on his broadcasts, and it's pretty funny.
Almost as good as the Yogi.
Is there a lot
Yeah.
of that
Not
going
quite,
on
not
with the
quite.
Knicks stuff?
No, but you know, he still uses those Clydisms
Turnover
on the
over.
broadcast. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Loss.
One story I actually uncovered of Clyde Walt Frazier was his draft day story. So the day of the draft, he was actually talking to Seattle because they were the pick behind the Knicks. And the Knicks never reached out to Walt. Never did a workout, never discussed contracts or anything. And before the draft, he actually worked out a 3-year deal with Seattle over the phone before he went to class at Southern Illinois. He was at Southern Illinois University. And, the agent came back to him that day and was like, hey, you've been drafted by the Knicks. And he totally taken off guard because Knicks never reached out to him.
Yeah. It's like,
And Seattle already had this contract set up. And he ends
Huge
up...
NCAA violation, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know
Now-
if you
I
can
mean,
get by.
nowadays,
I
but-
definitely don't think you get by with that nowadays. But what's funny is that they were telling the story. It was on like this. YouTube video sponsored by Kia for one of the Knicks broadcasts, and David Lee was in the back. This was when David Lee was on the Knicks, and David Lee's one question was, "How do you talk about a 3-year deal and then go back to class, Walt?" And I was like, you know what, David's got a point here. If I'm on the call with an NBA GM and they're like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna give you all this money to play basketball," why would I go back to class?
Go to Philosophy 201 for what?
For what?
Just got offered $50 million.
That's when you hit happy hour.
Exactly.
Early.
Yeah.
So
He probably wasn't even 21 though.
now we talked about how Chipper may have the upper hand when it comes to being the best player to wear number 10 over Fran, but we think that Fran's a better guy. Now, is Fran a better guy than Walt? I think Walt is just kooky. I think you go to a bar with Walt and you're in for some good stories though.
We can give the fashion aspect to him.
Walt is
people are
out
paying
there.
attention if you're coming into a bar with Walt Frazier.
People will recognize him
Yeah,
because of the suit.
that's right.
Fran, nope.
Nope. Interesting, but after going through Walt, and even though 2 NBA championships, and really being the face of the New York Knicks during their heyday when the Garden was Eden per se, I don't know if he gets the upper hand over Chipper. I mean, like we said, like Chipper is probably one of the best switch hitters to ever play the game. Walt Frazier, I don't think, is one of the best NBA point guards to ever play the game.
Damn.
I don't know. It'll be interesting when we come down to it, but that's just my first thoughts. Let's step over to hockey before we jump to soccer for you, Max. Guy Lafleur, his middle name's Damien, Guy Damien Lafleur, a.k.a. his nicknames were Le Damon Blonde and The Flower. He was the first overall pick in the 1971 NHL amateur draft. Hall of Famer, so he had a great career. 5-time Cup winner, 6-time All-Star, won a slew of awards, 560 goals, 793 assists.
Shit.
Yeah, that's a lot. Played majority of his career with the Montreal Canadiens. And Lafleur became the first player in the NHL to score 50 goals and 100 points in 6 straight seasons.
Wow.
So good for you, Guy. The other fun fact we found about Guy is that in the 70s, so he was the face of the Canadiens. Like, the Canadiens were really good then, and he was known as the guy, and the guy.
Guy Lafleur.
But because of that, he had a lot of different marketing deals going on, and he actually cut his own disco record that ended up being a hockey instructional video, but it was disco songs called Lafleur.
You can't tell behind these, but I'm shocked.
Wow.
So pretty cool guy, and the article that I was reading by Vice was actually telling the readers that it's a surprise that he didn't cut more disco records. It was such a hit then in the 70s because it was the 70s. Disco was popping back then. And but he only did one, and it was a hockey instructional video just behind disco music.
Wow.
So pretty cool.
We got an all-around person at number 10. We got production from Chipper. We got fashionista Walt Frazier.
We just got
Franny with the entrepreneurship there.
Yep.
And then
now let's see.
Huh?
Yeah. And now let's see what we got in soccer. Soccer is number 10. Like number 10. We knew this coming into it that soccer was going to play a big role in number 10. So we're going to hand it off to the producer on the ones and twos. He's got the glasses on today. Your first time back talking about soccer. Max, take it away.
First of all, their prescription, for sure. And also, I just watched this Lafleur disco video. Wow. I would have played hockey if I had seen this growing up. That's 100%. So soccer is number 10. I mean, for the listeners, the number 10 is the guy in soccer. You want to be wearing number 10. If you're on the Yankees, you want to be wearing a single digit number. You can't anymore, but you would
We retire
want
them.
to. Yeah, we retired everyone. In soccer, we don't retire numbers. We just keep giving them away. So you would want to be number 10. So lot of really good players. I just want to roll off a few. I'm going to miss a ton. The fans are going to hate me because I'm going to miss too many.
They already
They're going to be. I mean, they already hate me. There have been so many good number 10s. I mean, DePirlo, Dennis Bergkamp, Zinedine Zidane, who most of us know Zidane, not as the current Real Madrid coach, but as the guy who headbutted a player in the World Cup final for France versus Italy in 2006, and then France went on to lose. I mean, that's a famous video of him just rocking the dude in the chest. Yeah, apparently he said something about his mother. I mean,
jeez.
To win a world,
you don't bring your mother into the
Can't
shit
be
talking.
headbutting
But
people, though.
and I love my mother, and if she watches this, I'm sorry, Mom. But if someone said something ill about her, I would still rather win a World Cup than get a red card. You know?
Headbutt him in the head.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, incredible. He was an incredible player, one of the best players of all time, and has been a phenomenal coach for Real Madrid, winning multiple back-to-back Champions Leagues. Ronaldinho, everyone knows him.
I love
One of the
Ronaldinho.
best number 10s of all time. Oh, his jersey, I should have worn it.
So crafty.
Hindsight's 2020. Verto Baggio, Francisco Totti, Pele, a lot of Brazilians on this list, Rivaldo, a million number 10s. But there are two I want to focus on that are actually from the same country. Argentinian.
Ooh.
And the first one, we'll go way back. Diego Maradona. Now, incredible play. Maradona. Yes, Maradona. That's Italian. He's Australian. Argentinian. I said Australian. Yeah. Whew. Argentinian, incredible player. Actually, never won a Ballon d'Or. Interestingly enough, because it didn't exist at the time. That's why he never won one. Yeah. But incredible player. He's been a coach in the Argentinian farm league and head coach for a little while as well. The dude's crazy. I mean, no two ways about it. He's crazy. You see him, he's got so much passion. Probably his most famous play is what they call the hand of God. And that was in the, and I want to make sure I'm getting this right, 1986 FIFA World Cup against England. Hello. We just got fans already. Live studio audience.
Live fans.
Yeah.
We made it.
In front of a live studio audience. 1986 World Cup quarterfinal match.
This is the hand of God.
This is the hand of God. Yeah.
Hand of God.
Yeah. And there's a ball crossed in, and Maradona goes up to head it, and he just punches it with his hand over the keeper into the goal.
Dude.
Very
And
clear.
ball.
Very clear. Very clear. But he did this cool thing where he pretended to hit it with his head. So if you think about 1986 and the technology we had, it's not that good. So instant replay is not really a thing.
Right,
There's
right.
no VAR, which we have now, which isn't that good. But don't even get me started. But it counted. And if you watch the replay, punched it right in the goal. Goal. It counts. And Argentina goes on.
You make that sound, bro. Can you do that? Yeah, like that.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've been practicing all day. And it goes in the goal. England loses, and Argentina goes on to win 2-1. And it's the goal of the century, as they called it, the hand of God. One of the most controversial plays in all of soccer.
For a play.
Yeah, just God tossed it in. And he was phenomenal. One of the best Argentinian soccer players of all time. I mean, he would be in most countries, I think, right up there as number 1 or number 2 if he had played anywhere. But there's one other guy who's an Argentinian. He's a current player, a number 10. Some people may have heard of him, Messi. Now,
Messi.
I don't want to bring up other players from other numbers, but I will.
Okay.
Our number 7, our pick for the best player was Cristiano Ronaldo. That's
Yes.
the only other soccer player that we've picked.
That's right.
And there's a constant debate of Messi or Ronaldo. Which one is right? There's a right answer. I won't say it. But Messi's been prevalent forever. I mean, he's been a Barcelona legend. Played on Argentina since he was a teenager. He's the only player to score in his teens, his 20s, and 30s at the World Cup. It's a crazy stat. Imagine being good for that long. And he's been just incredible for over a decade at this point. I mean, some of his stats, incredible. In the 2011-2012 season, he scored 82 goals, and he had 33 assists across all competitions. He was good for 1.18 goals a game, which is basically a goal or an assist that he contributed to, which is insane. Unprecedented. He's had over 40 goals for a very long time. He can't stop scoring. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And I remember what won Ronaldo, the number 7, was I went through the different Ballon d'Ors where he finished and everything.
Yeah.
So I wanted to do the same for Messi because it's equally as impressive. So back in 2007, so you got to go all the way back to 2007, he finished in 3rd. 2008, he finished in 2nd. Then 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012. 4 straight best player in the world. 2014?
Not bad.
2014, he finished in 2nd. So you know what he did the next year? He went out and won it. 2015. And then 2016, 2017, he finished in 2nd as well. And then he most recently won it in 2019. So he's been, right up there. They did not do 2020, no Ballon d'Or due to COVID-19. But I don't think he would have won it. I think someone else might have this year. But I think he would have finished in the top 3 just based on the year he's having. He's just been phenomenal forever. Barcelona's all-time leading scorer. He's La Liga's all-time leading scorer, I believe. He's actually never won a World Cup. That's the biggest thing people have against him. He just can't win on the big stage for his country.
That's what I was going to say, that, I have a colleague at work that is Argentinian, and I was texting back and forth with him today, and he was saying that he was wishing that he would be able to come on the podcast and talk about why Maradona is the best player over Messi.
What?
How?
Yikes. Come on.
For accolades for Argentina, I agree. Maradona won the World Cup, and that's a phenomenal thing. But
and I know this colleague values winning. So
and that's a lot.
There's a lot of I could be totally wrong here because I don't watch as much soccer as you or some of the Argentinian fans. But that's a huge, that's bigger than just like a disadvantage that he has. Like he consistently falls short, very.
Yeah, that is a big thing for a lot of soccer. There's a difference between club and country, and a lot of the athletes we talk about on this podcast are United States. So we're playing the MLB, which we don't play internationally, the NFL, there's no other football, basketball. The NBA is top-notch. There's good leagues abroad, don't get me wrong, but the NBA is the NBA.
Right.
So in soccer, there's a big difference between club and country, and a lot of these countries, you want to win for your country as well.
Of course.
So yeah, it's definitely a slight against him in something, and it's sort of one of those. I would compare it to LeBron's record in the finals in terms of how good is he. Can you compare him to a guy like Jordan or someone else? Where if you fall short on a big stage, I think Messi's just proved it year in and year out, especially for his club side. The other thing as well is there's a number of phenomenal players in soccer who. Bad countries that aren't prevalent in soccer.
They're just not good enough to win.
Robert Lewandowski probably would have won the Ballon d'Or this year.
Right.
He's Polish. They're not that good. And there's a lot of players from smaller countries who don't really get the chance to compete in the World Cup. Maybe they don't even qualify because their country's so small, but they're, top tier players consistently. So that's hard to say, but that is a slight against him. However, I think he's the best soccer player to wear number 10, and I think in terms of what I've seen, again, younger guy, didn't get to see a lot of the older guys, but I think he's the best soccer player I've seen play all time. Wow. He's a small guy. He's very short. I don't want to get his height wrong, but I do know that when he was young, he's 5'7", so he's not that big.
Right.
So it's hard to win headers in soccer when you're playing against 6'2", 6'3" center backs.
Right.
But he started in Barcelona's youth league, and they gave him some HGH as a child, actually, so he would get taller because he was going to be way smaller than 5'7".
Really?
And he was so good that they said we need him to be taller because it's going to be really hard to play if you're below 5'7" realistically.
I know that.
So they spiked him up a little bit. Yeah.
Huh. Does that wrap it up for Messi?
I think we got to end on HGH. Now, to be fair, Maradona 5'5".
Huh.
No HGH for him.
Yeah,
No
unless
HGH
unless I just can't see well with these glasses. No, he's 5'5". Yeah.
Damn.
All right. Well, that wraps up the players that we wanted to talk about for the best to wear the jersey number 10. Where do we stand? I mean, typically we have one person that really stands out.
I'm torn.
Yeah, I don't think I can choose right off the bat. Rock, we're gonna let you start it off.
All
See
right,
who
I'm
you
gonna
who you
choose
pick.
Messi.
We got one Messi. Carl, since you're right next to that mic right there.
I'm gonna go Chipper.
Chipper,
No
chip
way.
off
Or
the
should I
old
say
block.
Larry Wayne Jones Jr.
Larry Wayne Jones Jr. Max, I'm gonna let you pick.
I mean, I think my answer is kind of clear. I can't go against Messi.
Messi's
he's
the
been
pick.
relevant forever.
Since 2007.
Yeah, I mean, he was playing in 2004. He wasn't very relevant, but he's got to be like 12 then too. My goodness.
It was I was in between Chipper and Messi as well. I do think I'm gonna go with Messi to make it a 3-1 to give our second soccer player a victory.
The old 3-1.
Let's go, Chipper. I mean, Messi.
Wow.
Messi.
So that's it. So Messi gets number 10 to start off season 2. What the listeners don't know is we have more segments this time around. So let's get into a segment that we like to call I Can't Believe This. And Carl's gonna lead us through that. Carl, take it away. What did you see this week in the world of sports that you cannot believe?
There's just some things that really stick out throughout a week, throughout a month, throughout a year that we just can't believe. And on Tuesday night, the Blue Jackets and Tampa Bay Lightning went into 5 OTs in Game 1 of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs. There, 5 OTs in Game 1. I don't know how they're going to skate for the rest of the 6 games.
That is tiring.
Uh,
I mean, Have you guys gone ice skating just recreationally? I mean, you go out there for like 20 minutes and you're tired.
Yeah, I went past this past winter.
Yeah? How'd you
Fun.
do?
It
Did
was
you
fun.
fall?
I fell once.
Oof,
It
that's
was the skate's
embarrassing.
fault. It was the skate's fault.
You're bad.
Not my fault.
I had a pond growing up, so I used to skate around all the time.
Play any pond hockey?
Oh, a
Pond
lot
hockey.
of pond hockey, a lot of pond hockey. Did not go into 5 OTs because, I would always.
You'd be cracking through the pond.
Well, yeah, no, we'd be cracking through the pond, and I can't go 5 OTs. I'd score before then. Also, we didn't have goalies, so.
Were you good?
Was I good? In my head, yeah. You can't imagine the number of Stanley Cups I won on that pond playing by myself. But
Yep.
was
Wow.
I NHL level? No.
How many overtimes again?
5 overtimes.
5 overtimes.
And a little bit more on this game, which we just can't
Yeah.
believe. We just can't believe it.
I just can't believe it.
Tampa ended up winning 3-2 in the 5th overtime, 10 minutes in. So, they played about, almost,
The whole.
what is that? Almost 2 games in one night. Insane. Anyways, the Blue Jackets goalie, Corpusalo,
Yeah.
made 85 saves in one game and still lost. Still lost the game.
Corpusalo cannot believe this.
Corpusalo left that game just shaking his
better
head.
than
He
that.
couldn't say anything. 85 saves in one game. That's like 4 games worth of saves he made in one night, and he lost.
Where's
So,
that series at right now?
It is 1-1 right now. The Lightning
While
won.
we're recording
Lightning
this, it's
won
1-1.
today, right?
Yeah.
The Lightning won the first game.
Excuse me. 1-1. The Blue Jackets won today.
Oh, Blue
That's
Jackets
correct.
won.
Got it.
So that's just where I'm coming from, where we just can't believe what happened.
I can't believe it. Well, interesting. I wanted to add in one more thing for the segment. We're only going to do one typically, but I just can't believe Damian Lillard's performance in the bubble as of
He's
late.
been balling,
He
man.
is just tearing it up down there in the bubble. Let's just read 61 points against the Mavs, 51 points against the Sixers, 22 against the Clips, then 45 and 12 assists against the Nuggets. I mean, those are his last 4 outings. It's Dame time. It is Dame time.
He's a stud.
So I really can't believe how good he's doing right now in the bubble. Just being a point guard and knowing that those numbers are not usually seen from a point guard. Those scoring numbers are not usually seen this day and age in the NBA.
Walt Frazier definitely didn't have them.
Walt Frazier didn't have that. He was cool, but he didn't have those numbers. So wow, that wraps up our first segment of I can't believe this. I can't believe that game went into 5 overtimes. I can't believe that they're still walking.
I was up so late watching that. It was only like 10, but it felt late.
All right. And now, our last segment that I know we have 2 more segments.
Yes.
But the next one we have, it's called Rock's Locks. Our man Rock here is going to make some selections for the next slate of games. So we're recording this on the 13th of August. We're going to do this for the next weekend. What are the dates on that?
I got you.
The 21st is Friday.
So we're going to look at the games on the 21st
and the 22nd. I don't think we did any
and the
games
22nd
on Sunday.
Knowing that this episode, we're going to be launching this episode on the 19th. So we're looking ahead to that next weekend. Let's go through. I'm gonna rattle off these games, and The Rock is gonna pick them. Yeah. Let's see. Starting with NBA, this is your sport.
The series. You want to do this? We're gonna go through the series.
Yeah, we're gonna do
because
who
the
wins
games
the series.
aren't. Yeah, I mean.
Right.
All right.
So the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Orlando Magic. What do you got there?
I got the Bucks in 4.
Wow. Okay.
Wow,
in 4. They're looking good.
Sweep.
Raptors versus the Nets.
Raps in 5. Nets haven't been playing that bad. Actually, decently well. But they're not gonna beat the Raps.
They're gonna get one game though.
Yeah, one game.
Boston Celtics versus your Sixers.
I had to pick the Sixers here.
Bias.
I had to do it, even though they don't have Ben Simmons.
You're gonna pick
he's
the
out.
Sixers.
I'm still gonna go with the Sixers. It's gonna go to 7 games though.
Interesting.
I can't wait to see him blow up.
The distance.
Miami Heat.
I had to pick the Sixers. I mean, we can't. We need
Can I
it.
bet the
We
house
need
on it?
Don't do that.
My rent for the month?
I mean, it's a lock, but do not do that.
Miami Heat versus the Indiana Pacers.
Heat in 5.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
TJ Warren's been absolutely balling out, but Heat are just top to bottom. They're better.
West, I mean, is obviously a better conference. Everyone kind of knows that on paper. But
Yeah.
starting off with Lakers versus whoever they play. I mean, we have Blazers. It's either Blazers, Suns, Grizz, or Spurs.
So right now, I think the Spurs are out. They're not in the playing game.
Spurs are out.
The
Okay.
Grizz secured a spot in the playing game. If the Blazers lose tonight, then the Suns get the playing game. So it would be the Grizz versus the Suns.
So you don't think that if the
So
Blazers
the
make it, they
Blazers
will have a
win.
chance to beat the Lakers?
I don't think any of these teams are gonna have a chance. Even if the
Really?
Blazers make
You
it.
think Devin Booker? The Suns
No.
haven't lost.
Yeah, but they haven't lost, but they're not beating.
I mean,
They're just not
LeBron
gonna
doesn't
beat
lose in the first.
They're just not
they-
gonna beat the
They
Lakers.
let a team in that could win every single game and still not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for this one though,
Wait, what?
wait, say it.
No, yeah, because
The
it's a
Suns-
continuation of the other regular season.
What was the point in letting the Suns go?
But they do have a chance, right? Or do they not?
No, they had a chance. They literally just had to win every game, and then had it. And by this, like people had to lose to help them get in.
Right.
Wow.
Like if the Blazers lose, they're in the playing game.
That's right.
Suns.
That's right.
Yeah.
Um,
Or, I mean, if the Blazers, I say the Blazers.
Yeah.
So the Blazers play in like soon.
so you got Lakers and 6.
Lakers in 6. I think the Blazers are gonna win tonight, so it's gonna be the Lakers versus, and they're gonna win the playing game, so it's gonna be the Lakers versus the Blazers.
Got it. Dame time.
Lakers in
Clippers versus the Mavs.
6. Clippers in 6. Mavs are. I mean, Luka Doncic is a stud. He's probably a top 5.
This is a hot take that I've been saying to everybody. I said this during golf the other day. I said this to you. I said this to everybody here and to some friends on the group chat. Luka Doncic, by the end of his career, and this one shouts out to Sam Ruby with this take, going to be top 10 all-time player.
Oh my God, yeah, he's numbered. He is the best. He's having the best second year of like any player in the history of the NBA. His stats are better than LeBron's.
So fun to
second
watch.
year.
So fun
And
to
everyone
watch.
pretty much. Yeah, he's a stud. He has like 20-something triple doubles already. He's crazy.
Yep. Nuggets versus Jazz.
Nuggets in 5. The Jazz just no.
Mm-hmm. Thunder versus the Rockets.
This was really hard because the Thunder actually are really surprising this year somehow, and Chris Paul is a beast.
Wow.
Best point guard ever.
Best
Up
player
there.
of all time, Chris Paul.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, that's
No,
true.
point guard wise, he probably is. It's him or
Don't sell him short.
yeah. I know that. I think he would be,
Mm-hmm.
but Rockets in 7. It's gonna be a good series.
Okay. Baseball. We're gonna do one day for baseball because there's so many games. Friday the 21st. The hometown Nationals versus the Marlins.
Nationals.
Okay. Blue Jays.
Hate Trey Turner though.
Yeah, Trey Turner sucks. What number is he? We don't care because he sucks.
Blue Jays versus the Rays.
Rays here.
Yanks versus Mets. Subway
Yanks.
Series. Yanks. Okay.
Yeah, Yanks winning that.
Sox versus the O's.
Sox, baby.
Let's go Sox.
Brewers versus the Pirates.
I got the Brew Crew. Pirates blow yet again. They are so bad. What are they have like 3. They are so bad.
Christian Yelich is probably juicing again, so they're
Probably.
definitely gonna win.
Yeah.
Where are we? Phillies. Your Phillies versus the Braves.
I picked the Braves. The Phillies are just garbage. They have no.
They've been
pitch-
tough
they
to
have,
watch,
They have
huh?
the worst bullpen in the league. I think. What were they
Yeah.
saying the other day?
It's
The
like
ERA
10
of
ERA,
10
something like that.
for the bullpen. 10 ERA.
Might as well just throw the game once
Just-
they go to the fence.
Just toss it.
Toss
They're
it.
gonna lose.
Tigers versus Indians.
Indians. Don't really know a lot of. I mean, Indians got some solid players.
They got
They got the
some
best
pitching.
shortstop,
They got
and they got a little bit of pitching. So
Twins
Well,
versus Royals.
Twins,
White Sox versus Cubs.
Cubs.
Reds versus Cardinals.
I went with the Cardinals here.
Will the
Ass-
Cardinals play though? They haven't
Yeah,
played a game in,
that's
like,
right.
2
They have
weeks.
they only have I think 5 games right now played.
That one could be a wash.
So yeah, we'll see.
Astros, Padres.
Padres, man, freaking
Tatis.
Fernando Tatis. Holy shit, the dude's a stud.
On fire.
He's a beast.
Rangers, Mariners.
Rangers,
All right. Rockies, Dodgers.
Dodgers,
Angels, Athletics.
A's or Athletics. Can't really say A's there. Athletics.
Diamondbacks versus Giants.
I went with the Giants here. Lock these in.
Lock these
They're-
in. We'll see how they
every one of
perform
these.
next time we come on air. Okay. Lightning versus the Blue Jackets in NHL.
I'm going Lightning here to win the series.
Win the series. That's right. We're going back to the series.
No, how many OTs though?
a series total
We're already
of
at 5.
We're already
We're
at
already
5.
at
They're
5.
gonna be at 6, 7
They're gonna
OTs.
have 2 more OT
7
periods.
OTs, wow.
Flyers versus Canadians.
Flyers, baby, let's go. We've taken the cup this year. Go Flyers.
Blues versus the Canucks.
Blues.
Avalanche versus Coyotes.
Gonna go with the Avalanche here.
All right. Capitals versus Islanders.
Gotta go with the hometown team here.
The Caps. Blackhawks versus Golden Knights.
The Blackhawks.
And Flames versus Stars.
I went with the Stars here. I don't really know anything about the Flames or the Stars, but I just went with the Stars.
All right.
But lock
But
it.
it's a lock.
It's a
One
lock.
more lock for the Rock Champions League. PSG
So
versus RB Leipzig.
there's some
I might be
games
saying this
this
wrong.
week.
Leipzig.
There's games tomorrow.
There's a
and
game.
Saturday.
Yeah, there's games tomorrow and Saturday, but I thought that was too close. 'Cause I
Yeah,
didn't
yeah.
know.
I
This
was
is for next-
Can you pick them right now? So when I watch this back,
Yeah. Who's
it's Barcelona.
I'm going Barcelona there.
over Bayern.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, that's good. And then Manchester City.
Manchester City.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That's it. Lock it in.
What are your thoughts on those?
I mean, he's only got 2 options. I could have picked the other team. Those are. I think City's gonna win.
Mhm.
The Barca Bayern game. I mean,
Should be
tomorrow at 3. I might take PTO.
That's
just to
gonna be
watch
good.
it. But I think
That's
good.
one you have to tune
That's a
into.
toss up. Yeah, that is one you got to tune into. Yeah.
If it's on, hopefully it's on, right? We'll see.
I mean, it's on. It's on at 3 for sure.
On TV.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll just have to check it, I guess.
Who's your favorite
Might
player
be
on
streaming.
Bayern Munich?
Bayern?
Yeah.
I don't know. Who wait, rattle off some players for me.
Well, who's your favorite though?
I don't know. Rattle them off and I'll tell you.
All
my
right,
favorites.
all right. That wraps up the Rocks Locks. We've gone a little bit too far on the Rocks Locks, but hey, tune in next time.
Wait, you
to
forgot to
see
do the last one. PSG.
I did that one. Which one did you choose?
Oh, you did that one? I did PSG.
He chose PSG for that Champions League game.
Oh,
So tune in next time for episode 11 to see. We'll see how he did. The Rock. This guy knows sports. He knows how to pick these games. So he's a professional.
Well, I'm also betting all of my money for rent next month on those losses. So if it doesn't work out, I won't be here for the next episode because I can't afford rent at that point.
So Lewandowski's on Bayern.
Yeah, the Polish
Then
guy.
he's my favorite.
Yeah.
So because
He's a beast.
because we finished up on Champions League, let's turn into our last segment, kicking it with Max, the producer. Max, you got anything for us today? As far as this is your segment, we're just gonna kick it with you. And if you have anything fun, maybe it's just a quote from work that you heard today. Maybe it's something that happened in your day.
Wow.
Send us off.
Yeah. Well, I like to talk some soccer. I mean, we got the Champions League, which is back. Matt's got his picks. Locks, excuse me. And they're all locks. So it's really nice to have the Champions League back. I just like to talk about some soccer that happened during quarantine.
Yeah.
Because most American sports were not back.
Mm-hmm.
In the United States, we've done not great at doing the whole keeping coronavirus under wraps. So, and Europe figured it out somehow. Crazy, but
I
soccer's
can't
been
believe
back.
it.
Yeah, exactly. Soccer's been back for a while. This pains me to say. Liverpool won the EPL.
Yep.
By a lot. They won by
A healthy margin.
A healthy margin. What they didn't do by struggling at the end was eclipse Manchester City's points record of over 100 points in the season. They really collapsed at the end, and then they got knocked out of the Champions League and the FA Cup and all these other big competitions. So good for them. They won the EPL in a different season. You know, they would have won it anyway, but it's fine. So that was back. Juventus won Serie A again for, I believe, the 10th year in a row or something crazy like that with Ronaldo. He keeps winning these competitions. They actually recently got knocked out of the Champions League, though. That was a big upset for them. Bayern Munich won the Bundesliga again. They can't lose.
Bundesliga.
And the MLS Cup recently wrapped up the other night on a Tuesday.
Who won?
They had a final on a Tuesday.
Who played?
Exactly. So MLS's back cup. They really tried to push it, and it didn't land as well as I think they had wanted to. But the final was the Portland Timbers and the Orlando FC Football Club. Portland ended up prevailing 2-1.
They run that league.
They do. I went and I watched them win the MLS Cup in Columbus a few years ago.
Shouts to Columbus.
Shout out Columbus. They lost. I got to hang out with the team after. It was very depressing because they lost. But congrats to Portland. Another win for them. So good for them in the MLS Cup. And I mean, soccer's back. It's been really exciting. Real Madrid won La Liga. I wanted to avoid it, but hats off to them. Another win for Zidane, I guess. So it's been good to have that back. I mean, we got the Champions League going on. They changed their format, which is exciting. It's single elimination now. It makes it kind of like March Madness-esque.
Yep.
We missed a phenomenal game. PSG beat Atlanta. They scored 2 goals in the last 4 minutes to win it. That was incredible the other day. And, I mean, soccer's been on. It's been really exciting and just nice to have back. Not that anyone in the U.S. cares, but, you know, for the rest of the world, that's been good to watch. And I'm excited because we got some good tournaments coming up in the next couple years. You know, the Euros are coming. We got a World Cup in a number of years, but, you know, we'll get there. So that's really good. I think it's in Qatar, where it's going to be 400,000 degrees, and they're having the tournament during the winter. So that'll be fun, you know. But I'm excited. Soccer's back. Sports are back in general.
Yeah.
Just to kind of wrap
Sports
up
are
the whole
definitely
pod
back.
in general. I mean, SEC football, they're going to play. I don't.
We knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Big 12 too.
Big 12's playing. Did they?
So
did they announce
we'll start talking about some football soon.
that? Wow. And then the NFL, we're gonna get Franz Hergenbacher. I forgot his last name, but that's what it's right in my head.
Tarkenton. bro.
Tarkenton, yes, of course. He sounds, like Icelandic or something. But
Hergenbacher.
yeah, something like that.
All right.
He'll be back, and we got sports.
We
I'm
got
excited.
sports. Cool. If I had a nickel for every time he said, I'm excited, I'd be rich.
Yeah. Well, I kind of ran out of things to say, so I just kind of like filler until I thought of something in my brain.
All right. Well, if you guys tuned in all this way, thank you so much. Now we're on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, The Morning Read, wherever you listen to your podcast. We'll be back for episode 11. So till next time, see ya.